it called Continent Whopper. Hold on. Wait. Stop. We didn't think about this.
There are a lot of things.
I'm on an island right now in a wagon. Okay, here we go. Okay. Part of an essay called Continent Whoppers. It's a book length project. It's a Whopper is a sandwich from Burger King. Keep reading. My first visit was for the California Whopper, which came with pasteurized processed Swiss cheese and guacamole. The California Whopper is a limited time only Whopper. It arrived advertised with a large color poster in the window and a special display square on the drive-up menu, and remains on the menu for a predetermined length of time. The people in power at fast food chains use limited time only food to test their marketability. Sometimes a limited time only makes the cut and is integrated into the permanent stable, but usually not. The limited time only Whopper resembles a specific kind of love story, the kind that begins with the end in view, a fling, an extramarital affair, a marriage to someone with a known terminal illness. One winter the Cowboy Whopper arrived. The customer has been wanting something new, and usually he wouldn't indulge, but he sees the cowboy and he knows it is only for a little while, and he says, okay. By the time the trees begin to bud, the cowboy is gone. The customer forgets him until, in the next winter, he sees him again, larger than life on the window of the Burger King he passes daily on his drive home. They have a warm reunion in his car, where he unbuckles his seatbelt and turns up the NPR. Beyond the fog windows, seagulls circle the trash corrals. In this parking lot moment, the novelty, the decadence, the romance of impermanence, the calories, all flush his cheeks with fullness. But the next winter, his cowboy does not return. He turns up in Japan as the rodeo Whopper. A few years later, he's back, but changed, the angry Whopper. We met at a New Year's party in Brooklyn, the last day of one decade, the first of another. After we kissed for the first time, I threw up in the bathroom, and then looked at myself in the mirror and said, 3 times, second husband. I didn't think I could curse myself. I didn't think how this could be a curse. On the train to your house, I felt a sleep on your shoulder, but I was drunk. On the next day, I didn't even ask for your number. You told me right away that you weren't planning on staying in New York, and this added to the romance for me, because I thought I wasn't looking for anything permanent. All this began so innocently. I would pass the Rainier Ave BK on the way to work. I had read Infinite Jest for the year of the Whopper. I wondered, what will I be doing when the angry Whopper arrives? And then everything changed. Everything started. Limited time only Whoppers mark the seasons, and then as the seasons change, the years. Alan Devine talks about the structures of religion that contribute to a happy and meaningful life. He founded something in London called the School of Life, which presents lectures and sermons on this kind of thing. One of the parts of religion that Botton finds missing in contemporary atheistic society is the time marking of calendars. Another is the physical embodiment and repetition of lessons. The constant Whoppers resemble happily ever after. A camera pan out during optimistic music. They remain the same. These include the Whopper Jr., the Double Whopper, the Triple Whopper, and the Texas Whopper. I left New York and followed you back to Seattle. After 2 years, I moved into a studio apartment, and you went back to New York. You helped me move. We returned the U-Haul truck, and then walked up the street a block to have lunch at the Rainier Ave Burger King. We ordered single Whoppers. What does it mean to be devoted? In noun form, devotion mostly appears in the context of religion and love. Though adjectively, it can refer to a habit, devoted moviegoer, devoted sports fan. I ordered the Triple Whopper on my second visit to 2021 Rainier Ave. Around 4 p.m. on a Friday, I took the bus from campus after grading papers. It was several days after you called to say you didn't think it was going to work anymore. The assignment I'd been grading was a review. I'd spent hours saying, evaluative claims. The day before, I had been looking for an object to give you to stand in for an engagement ring. I arrived at the BK in an hour of mixed clouds and steady traffic over the franchise mechanic and utilitarian sidewalk. The sun was setting in a golden way. Unusual weather for November. This became the visit of the oddly appropriate playlist. My roommate, who was with me, pointed out we walked in, talking heads, nothing but flowers on the overhead speakers. This is so perfect, he said. The line, "This used to be a Pizza Hut, now it's all covered with daisies," played. He pointed in the direction of the speakers. When we sat down, I held the triple in front of my face so my roommate could take a photo. The only other patrons were older men eating alone. Halfway through the triple, More Than This began to play. "This is so perfect," my roommate said. "Indeed, there is not a Whopper more than the triple." I couldn't finish my sandwich. We discarded our trash. We questioned the compostability of wax paper wrappers. Then Getting Away With It played, with its chorus of "I love you more than you love me." My roommate didn't say anything about this. Near the Rainier Ave BK is a non-profit that provides jobs and vocational training for the blind, called the Lighthouse for the Blind Peak. It's a large factory surrounded by other factories, square, aluminum-sided, windowless, where aerospace and military parts are produced for the government. Their slogan, which appears under a drawing of a lighthouse, is "Jobs, Independence, and Power." When my roommate and I left the Rainier Burger King, it must have been at the end of the shift, because as we waited at the bus stop, blind person after blind person filled the sidewalk, most with canes and glasses, some speaking with each other, but most tapping, silent and concentrated. I am trying to remember your green eyes and the way they crinkle shut when you smile, your bad hands, your bad hearing, your thinning hair, the bump at the back of your skull, the hair beneath your belly button which seems exactly thick enough to be yours instead of thick or thin, your strong size, your warm smile, your way of answering the telephone, all the lives you used to live and their artifacts, an accordion, a PhD, a 70s racing bicycle, your charm and your wit and your good ideas and your unbelievable self-consciousness, your list, your yogurt and granola every morning, the length at which your beard begins to itch, and the length you like to keep your hair, and the way that you always sleep on your side, and the way that you always sleep late, and the way that you block websites from your browser and set timers so that you don't spend all day reading dinosaur comics or XKCD. Your attachment to coffee sweaters you never wear, your loafer liners, your teeth, which are just okay, your tattoo of a snub dysphenoid, and the fact that you know what that is, your self-improvement project, promises to start cooking and write in a diary and learn about economics, the worn-out place in the front of your jeans from your iPhone in your pocket, the freckles on each of your cheeks which are not exactly lined up, the wrinkle across your forehead, the way you always sigh before kissing as if putting down something very heavy. A lot of religions use invocation, but I was raised Protestant and I don't know how to do it, and I can't see you anymore. The triple Whopper is like the regular Whopper, except with 3 flame-broiled patties, the purest and most extreme expression of Whopper. It is a patty that defines the Whopper, the flame-broiledness that makes it unlike the burgers of McDonald's or Wendy's or Rally's or Hardee's or In-N-Out. In a triple, the proportions are shifted to emphasize this flame-broiled patty. This is the most Whopper you can get. I could not complete this Whopper. After I had gone as far as I could go, there was still significant Whopper left. More than satisfaction required, unrealized peripheries that would take more than one sitting to know. And a metaphor in which one mealtime is a lifetime, the triple Whopper is a profound mystery one can dwell in but never fully realize. Much more than sufficient, huge, absurd, overwhelming. And it is always there on the menu, the most massive of constant Whoppers, continuously, relentlessly present. Of all the Whoppers, this is the one that most resembles my love for you. That's the story.